be drunk when you driving. Walk on some glass with no shoes on and don't pay for your meal. Dine and dash.
I probably have like 13 to 20 different Wrangler shirts.
All same style, different colors. It's like it's like a palette.
All bought off of eBay. They're all have someone else's name in it. Yeah. Which is fun. You get to see what man died.
Well, or you just name that now that's the name of that shirt. It's like in Schitt's Creek when Moira Rose names all of her wigs. That's like how you treat your shirts.
I think Philip R is in this shirt.
Yeah. Tomorrow feels like a Reggie day. You know?
For sure. Yeah. I want to live in a man's shoes who died of diabetes in Arizona, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
He had his feet cut off, you know, he wore turquoise bracelets.
Whole lot of turquoise. He had his feet replaced with turquoise feet.
Oh, it's the best element, dude. It's so cool. Sparkling in the Arizona sun, especially when it's matched with a nice green Wrangler.
Exactly. And I'm surprised you don't have a bolo tie to go with that.
I think the bolo tie would be a little too much. And then
I think so too, but I'm still surprised you didn't get one.
Right? Like you think I do have a bunch of obnoxious belt buckles. And so I'm partway there.
I mean, maybe like special occasions, you know?
I can't be going to, you
can't be doing the daily.
I can't be going to a Best Buy rocking a bolo tie. I can go to maybe a funeral or a NASCAR event.
Yeah, you're not that far north of Sonoma County.
Yeah, come on, dude. I don't have that much red in my blood. But you're rocking a kimono. Where'd you get that kimono? You look like Philip Seymour Hoffman, bro.
Just the same amount of heroin, too.
Oh, hell yes.
Alameda County Vintage Fair. It's a great event. I got a lot of great clothes out of there.
The Vintage Fair. Vintage is big right now.
Vintage is huge. And if I had known that when I was like 8, when I was like stealing clothes from the lost and found, I should have saved all that stuff, right? Like I was so fashion forward back then, I didn't even know it, you know?
For sure. It's all about stealing your clothes.
Yeah, stealing your dad's clothes, stealing clothes from the lost and found.
You could be flipping your grandpappy's fucking dungarees right now.
Yeah, and making bank.
Making bank, just a side hustle, getting 6 figures, no problem.
Yeah, that's fashion, baby.
I saw a guy sold his grandfather's World War II shoes on Facebook Marketplace. He got a bookcase and $3,000.
He traded for a bookcase and $3,000.
A bookcase. The bookcase was to sweeten the deal.
It feels like maybe the bookcase was like, please take this bookcase.
I need this offloaded.
Yeah. What about, so are they like military shoes?
It's not a truth story. I made that story up.
Honestly, like I would not put it past anything. Cause there's that story of that one guy who like started in Canada or somewhere. He started off with just a paperclip and he traded up until he got a house.
For sure. I think so much of that story happened because he was doing that thing.
It's true. It was probably a lot of bullshit involved, you know?
Like people are like, oh, well, I want to be part of this guy's fun trade up.
But like there is crazy, weird people out there. And it's like, if you work hard at enough and you're willing to sift through enough garbage, you can find, and that's like the whole business model of vintage. It's like you want to sift through enough garbage and pretend to know enough stuff and deal with some weird fucking people. You can make some money.
Every single TikTok video I see is just a man who paid off his student debt by flipping couches.
Yeah. I went to the Alameda County Fair or Vintage Fair recently, and I saw a guy and he had this thing on his table I wanted to buy. It was like a foot tall, sparkly skeleton statue that kind of looked like it was from New Orleans. It's a good little decoration for the house. Yeah. I got a new apartment. I was like, this looks great. I go to buy it from him. And this guy, pretty typical Vintage Fair looking guy, big beard, suspenders, a bit overweight, older, couldn't really tell if he was wearing shoes or not.
Kind of a hoarder with purpose.
Yeah, a hoarder that goes outside.
For sure.
So he was kind of talking, and I thought he was talking to somebody. I realized he was talking to himself. And I went to buy the statue. I said, well, what's this going to cost me? And he said, what do you want to pay for it? I was like, oh, I don't know. $20. He was like, yeah, sure. I'm an old hippie. And then the real price that I paid was that he talked to me like for 20 minutes. And like, I was like, at some point I was waiting for a natural conclusion to the conversation. For sure. It just never came. And at one point, I just walked away and he kept talking to like the space that I was standing in the entire time. And the stories were going nowhere, of course. You know, I told him I did comedy and he's like, I did comedy. Well, here's some jokes. And he said, told me a bunch of really weird jokes. And then like, oh, I've got this great memory. And he went in like, it wasn't like a limerick, but it was like a song, kind of like a Dolomite type thing.
How great if you told that same joke on stage and it killed. And then
like, I stole this from the vintage fair.
Yeah. And then turns out, you know, someone's like, there is no vintage fair. That stopped in the 90s. And you're like, whoa, what?
Marty's losing his mind. He's just been wandering around in a parking lot talking to people.
Last time we saw him was in a Circuit City in 2006. And he appears on my doorstep. Talking like Eddie Murphy. What's going on?
Yeah, it was pretty funny that like as I realized that like as I walked away, that's what I saw when I walked up, was that like whoever had previously talked to him, same thing happened. Like
it's a cycle.
He just kept talking nonstop. It was crazy.
It's just a human gif. It's just an everlasting cycle.
Just ad nauseum repeating himself. And that was one of the many colorful characters I encountered at the Alameda County Vintage Fair.
Hey, vintage fair, antique stores, American pickers, you know, a lot of loonies. Because really, they're all just hoarders. They're just hoarders in a different.
Yeah, they're professional hoarders. Professional hoarders. Because they're like, this has value. Except sometimes they're actually right, you know?
For sure. Sometimes like they get like just the right bookcase.
Yeah. Or like they don't have stacks of magazines unless they're like actual retro Playboys that you can like sell, you know?
Oh, for sure. And then there's like Antique Roadhouse, where they have all these people who don't know what they have coming to
Antique Roadshow.
Oh, yeah, Antique Roadshow.
Yeah. And then, that's a real crapshoot because they bring it in. They're like, this is worth $2. And they're like, no, it's not. This is clearly vintage. Porcelain from China. It's like, it's not.
The best is when they like it's a family heirloom passed down through generation to generation, and it's not worth anything.
It's like, this is worth something to you and to you alone. And go ahead and try to sell it. But
sometimes they tease it. They're like, do you have any idea what you have here? And they're like, no, what? What do we have? Well, you won't believe this. It's not worth jack shit.
Do you have any idea what you have here? Because neither do I.
Where the fuck did you get this thing?
Yeah. Makes me think of the fucking Joe Dirt scene when he brings in the turd, you know?
Yeah. What do you mean this Arizona can from the 1970s isn't worth anything?
And it's stuff like that. And you're like, I get it that you would think that maybe some of this stuff would be worth something because stranger things have happened.
For sure.
You know, but you see these people and you're like, my God, give up. You know, like,
it's not worth it. I wonder if anyone's ever tried to like take that as a jumping off point into other media jobs.
Oh, like every reality show, is like, I know I want my spinoff. Somebody like acts up on the Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, and then now they're submitting to Love Island.
Maybe quite the stepping stone.
There's a 70-year-old man named Gregory. He's like, I think I'll be perfect for Love Island. I love warm sun and I love babes. I'm looking for love.
Look at me, I'm a character. Why don't you take this old coffee cup and shove it sideways up your ass, you stuffy ass motherfuckers.
Okay, it's fun. I'm gonna be rude to everybody. It's for television.
It's good television. I've been watching this for a while. All right. I've seen Survivor for the last 20 years.
Yeah, check this out. Rachel, you're a bitch. Boom, perfect.
You get that? Did you get that? I could do that again.
Yeah. Look how weird my balls look. They'll be perfect for TV. Put me on Hulu. I'll be the next Matthew McConaughey. I'll be the next Elliot Gould.
The Matthew McConaughey of Hulu. That's what I'm going for. That's my peak.
Call me Mud, okay? This is fun. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, of course.
This is the Hell Yeah podcast. We give advice.
Oh, you do?
We do. What do you think is the best advice that you have ever got?
Best advice. It's got a lot of good advice. One that sticks out. This was after one of my worst drinking incidents when I got blackout drunk, tried to hop a barrier running full speed, tripped over it. And
what were you drinking?
All day, everything.
Just anything in my head.
Whatever, beer shots, everything. So
hand sanitizer.
Went to a concert, got kicked out because I was too fucked up. Tried to get back into the concert by jumping the barrier, like a railing,
Yeah.
and caught my foot, smacked my head on the ground, knocked myself out.
Damn.
And so got taken away to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, they thought that I was just drunk, not concussed. So they didn't write me up as concussed. They just wrote me up as drunk. And,
Yeah.
I woke up.
Turns out sleeping it off is the worst thing you could do.
Pretty much. I mean, I was out cold, so I had no idea what.
Yeah.
Woke up in a hospital bed, very confused.
For sure.
Figured out what happened. Friends told me, and then went home. Had a rough couple days, obviously.
Yeah.
My dad comes in and has dinner with me that week. He says, doesn't like scold me or anything. He's just like, what happened, and he's like, and my dad doesn't drink anymore. And he says, I stopped drinking because at a certain point, it just stopped being fun. And I was like, were you having fun when you were doing that? I was like, not at all. And it's like, yeah, just remember, like, I'm not going to tell you need to stop drinking or anything like that. But like, I need, I know that's like not, I was like, 22, 21.
For sure.
I was pretty young. And so he's like, I'm not going to lecture you about like the dangers of alcohol and stuff like that. All that, you've heard all that, but like, just remember, think to yourself, make sure that it doesn't stop being fun. And that's a pretty good indicator when you're fucking up, because it's true. I've never had fun when I've been like that blacked out, very rarely. And I have a much better time when I'm remembering everything and, able to interact with people. And
absolutely. You're coherent.
And so that's something that's always kind of ticking in the back of my mind. It's like, man, am I enjoying this right now? If not, just stop. And so that's been a pretty good indicator for, although the other side of that coin is that that got me so good at drinking and doing drugs. It's like, now I'm good at it. Now I'll probably never stop.
Now you're a professional though.
Yeah. So at the same time, he made me better,
Hey, that's what fathers are for.
Exactly.
To
and
push
probably
you.
Probably not what he intended, but it did work. I mean, I haven't really had any issues since.
What was the last concussion you had,
Well, rugby,
at least alcohol.
That's different.
Forced concussion.
Alcohol-related concussions, none of those.
You see?
Rugby-related concussions, not many, but more than one.
And so we have people off of Reddit, people who wrote in. We have people who need advice.
Great.
And so
I'm happy to lead them down the wrong path. Let's do this.
Any advice is good advice.
Yeah.
My partner and I are in our mid-70s and live in a small home for around 10 years. And we have a wonderful house cleaner. Spend 3 hours every 2 weeks cleaning our home, dusting, mopping, vacuuming. She does a great job. This Tuesday, she broke our microwave turntable and said that she would replace it. I called her the next day to ask if she knew when she would be able to get it for us. She said that she didn't know when and apologized. I told her I found a replacement online and the soonest delivery was Friday. She then told me that we should subtract the amount from her next check for her cleaning services. The total is over half of what we pay her. My partner is completely okay with this. I'm not sure. I feel like everyone breaks things or makes mistakes occasionally, and we can absorb the cost easily. I don't want to lose our house cleaner. She works very hard. What do you think?
Okay. So I'm guessing that this microwave plate costs about $65, right? Let's say that's roughly 3 hand jobs.
Not bad.
And that's not bad. I mean,
if you break that down, 3 hand jobs, 300 strokes.
Your cleaner can earn that back pretty quick. So I would say don't worry about it. I'd say, and listen, if I have a plumber come to fix my toilet and he breaks my toilet, I expect him to pay for it.
That's true.
I'm not, and I don't want my plumber jerking me off. Let's make some choices here.
Should the cleaner be giving them hand jobs or other people hand jobs to pay for it?
Well, that's her choice. Honestly, it's
dealer's choice. Okay.
I don't know the relationship,
Maybe they're not that close.
Yeah. And if they're not that close, then they definitely needed to deduct it, like how, if you're so close, then why are we talking, hand job in this economy?
Okay. Why aren't we talking over the pants? Just over the pants.
Yeah. Yeah. You're 70. You go over the dungarees.
Okay. Get some Cialis. Okay. Throw off your suspenders. Have a good time.
Yeah, and well, they said partner. We don't know its wife. It could be two guys, and maybe that's maybe that's why they're asking.
No,
Maybe they
for
don't
sure.
want the handies. They know how to do the handies.
It depends. I don't think she's gonna lose the house cleaner if they make her pay for it.
No, they will lose the house cleaner if they request that the payment comes in hand jobs.
Sure, she might thinks twice. Like, maybe this job isn't worth.
But maybe you start with that and be like, or you can pay for it. And that way it kind of softens the blow. It seems more reasonable.
For sure. Like, hey, Dad, I'm dying. Actually, I got an F on an assignment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're not paying attention to that.
No, absolutely. Kind of negotiate your way down.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, maybe you're getting a free day of service. Maybe they're driving you to work every day. Maybe they're writing thank you cards for your grandkids.
Yeah. Maybe they just act like your grandkids for a half a day.
Yeah.
So, you get that sense of, belonging.
For sure. Like
your
they care about you.
Your grandkids aren't visiting you anymore.
No, they stopped writing letters a long time ago.
Yeah. So maybe she does that. Maybe instead of, physical gratification, it's going to be more of an emotional, spiritual gratification of her pretending to be your children.
Okay, maybe you can get her to sing karaoke with you.
Yeah,
you need a partner to really hit the high notes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do Islands in the Stream, but I've never had a dolly. I've only ever had a Michael McDonald.
You need a dolly.
Yeah, you need a dolly.
This cleaner could be your dolly.
Lead so you can, I'd say, present multiple options.
Get a whole spreadsheet.
Listen, you can satisfy me financially. You can satisfy me physically, or you can satisfy me emotionally.
Either way,
yeah,
I'm gonna be pleased.
Yeah, either way, I'm gonna be made whole.
Yeah. Okay. The microwave left a giant, cavernous, empty pit in my heart, and you must fill it.
Yeah.
You must make it right.
Well, someone dead here? I don't think anyone's dead here.
But dead on the inside.
Dead on the inside. I think there's a lot of neglect.
Oh, for sure. Probably for years. What do you think is the worst advice you ever had?
I bet you can jump that railing.
It's not even that tall, bro.
No, I don't. It's probably advice I've given myself and then later come to regret,
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. They won't notice.
Just keep on keeping on, man.
Yeah.
I should. Sometimes that's good advice. Yeah. Sometimes I shouldn't have kept on keeping on. I should have given a shit.
I should have not shit in the middle of that Wendy's,
Despite my reassurances that was a good idea.
I shouldn't have yelled at that family at Scandia,
Well, no, I mean, they cut in line. Okay.
Yeah. They were taking
they need
forever
to learn
on the windmill.
Yeah. Just because I'm there by myself doesn't mean I don't have rights,
Okay. I'm an American man. And I earned this Scandia trip.
Yeah. Listen, I came out to Fairfield for a reason.
Okay. I don't work 40 hours a week, so I can't go to Scandia on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah. By myself.
It's your birthday. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
You're 7. You have a lot more. I have at least only 6 left.
Yeah. At best.
Okay. Let me live.
And they're all going to be at Scandia.
As they should be, dude.
I'm going to die here. You can scatter my ashes in the fucking putt-putt.
Okay. My final breaths are going to be on the arm wrestling arcade game. Okay.
I'm going to punch the speed bag and it's going to come back and hit me in the face. And that's going to be it. That's how I'm going to go.
Yeah. I will get the high score.
I'm going to lay down in front of a bumper car. Yeah.
my gravestone is going to say died 36, doing what he loved.
Yeah.
Hole in one at the windmill.
It was at the batting cages, getting drunk.
Batting cages are nuts. I think they're just for people to get their anger out.
Oh yeah. We don't have a lot of avenues these days. When I'm done playing rugby, I'm gonna have a lot of aggression that I don't get to take out.
And you just can't slap people at award shows anymore. You need to go out,
which is bullshit,
and do something.
Yeah. You need to go out. Driving range is part of that, but I think that builds just as much frustration as it takes away. So that doesn't really help. Batting cages is good. People are starting to do shit like axe throwing, which I don't think really does it, because you can't get too good at axe throwing.
Even with the batting cage, even if you miss the ball, you get a swing, and you swing so hard it kind of hurts a little bit, and it's it really kind of releases some of that tension.
I think I had a real problem. Like, I don't grip the bat well, so if I really hit a good fast one, the bat vibrates in my hands and then it hurts like a motherfucker. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah, but you
This
also
makes you
don't want to
angry.
be the guy bringing batting gloves to the
Oh
Scandia
God, come on.
batting
Yeah,
cages.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. What are you, a divorced dad? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Mark McGuire gloves. I haven't bought a new pair since I was in middle school,
What are you, Mickey Rourke in 2000? Come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, figure it out, bro.
Yeah.
So we got more advice. Wasps.
That's it.
What can I do?
That's the whole card.
What can I do against wasps entering my house?
Well, you have to invite them in. It's kind of like vampires. So they can't actually come in if you don't invite them in.
Yeah.
And you hang garlic around your windows, and I think that'll do it.
Garlic. I mean, try a little bit of crucifixes. You believe in God?
Yeah. I think vampire rules apply.
For sure. Everything I've heard about wasps is that they hate Catholics.
Listen, you throw holy water on a wasp, it's probably not going to be happy.
No,
Yeah. If
it's going to have some problems for sure.
if you shoot it with like a silver bullet, that's a werewolf thing, but I think it'll still work.
It'll do the trick.
Yeah.
It's the same difference.
Stake through its little wasp heart. That'll
Yeah.
work.
If you could kind of locate the bullets from Underworld, where you get sunlight bullets,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, get those in the mix.
That's just, I think also maybe kind of a warning system too, where you have like a bunch of dead wasps on like sticks, like
Mhm.
little toothpicks outside of your house.
For sure.
Yeah. And it lets the neighbors know that you mean business too, that you're keeping them safe.
First off, I think you have to go to a recording studio, book a session, $10,000, and you need to record like a wasp war chant, so they really
okay.
know that you mean business. They can kind of hear it from a distance, and they're like, oh fuck, maybe don't fuck with this house.
Yeah. It's like some beating drums.
Some throat singing.
Yeah. Mongolian throat singing. I think the vibrations from the throat singing would drive the wasps away. The air around them would be unkind.
Absolutely. They can
shaking their little bodies, rattling their little brains around.
They're gonna hear Genghis Khan, okay, coming in the airwaves. They're gonna get freaked out.
That would scare the shit out of them.
No, absolutely. It scares the shit out of me.
Like just fucking rattling their little heads.
When you did that, I got scared.
Yeah. See, that's what we need.
What's the throat care for a guy who does that, like professionally?
A lot of tea.
A lot of tea. A lot of throat coat. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a lot of lozenges.
That has to be a mess.
So I went to Coachella with a bunch of comedians, and the first band we saw was a Mongolian throat singing rock band called The Who. It's HU.
It's the only Mongolian throat singing band that I know.
It's mostly the only Mongolian throat singing band that most people know. We were very excited. Me and Greg Gettle drove down to Coachella together, and we're talking up that and we're like, oh, it's gonna be the first one we see.
Yeah. And
we went, and it was great. And
hell yeah.
It took a lot of convincing to get the rest of the group as into it as we were. But once they got to the show, they were fully on board. But Greg was yelling so hard to it that he lost his voice. The first day, first show of Coachella, he lost his voice just from doing doing that for like an hour straight.
So he just walked around for the next 3 days whispering.
We gave him some tea. By day 3, he was talking normally again. But day 1, he couldn't speak at all. It was very funny.
Damn, that's brutal. So is you, a bunch of other comics, you guys stay in a tent? You guys get a house?
Yeah, we did a camping thing.
God damn, how's that? You guys enjoy camping?
No, it fucking sucks. I told them that the Airbnb situation is way better, but whatever. I mean, it was fun because it's a good group, but it is a pain in the ass. And you save money, but I'd spend the money.
What's the pooping situation?
I got porta potties, but that was the other thing, is that I'm a big proponent of making sure that everyone gets their fiber supplements in. But people were getting a little frustrated with how much I was pressing the fiber supplements. But they eventually thanked me. I was just forcing Metamucil down everyone's throats.
Bars.
But by like day one, everyone hates that. By day 2 and 3, everyone's like, I understand. You're a genius.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're a savior.
Can I name my children after you? You know, like, everyone gets it.
Sometimes revolutionaries, they're not recognized day one.
Yeah. I mean, if I understand, I get it,
Absolutely.
but like my persistence is for them. It's to help them. And
absolutely.
And frankly, a lot of people are now like, regular converts, like once you realize all you have to do is take this one thing a day to get like one great poop. That's like a one wiper, because it's a medical necessity when you're at a music festival to spend as little time in porta potties as possible.
Absolutely. If you're in there 3 to 4 times a day,
and you're like,
disaster.
You have to, like if you're like me, you got the pastel asshole, you got to wipe over and over again. That's a problem.
Yeah. What my ass was like a block of clay. What's going on there?
Yeah. And, it's sweaty, it's hot, no one wants to deal with that. So you get that mucil going and you're in there once a day, great movement, get out, feel better. And, you can live that life every day of your life if you're willing,
Marty Cunnie, a man of many words, but few poops.
Yeah. You don't need to poop a lot. You just need to poop well.
Hell yes, dude. Poop clean. So we got more advice. Looking to buy a car in a few months, need to know what to watch for. As the title says, I'm hoping to have a new car by at least September or sooner if possible. I have about $10,000 saved up. And since I've been looking at used cars since, it's currently all I can afford.
Okay. So $10,000, that's a pretty good down payment. You could probably get like a Camaro.
Right. Sweet. Are we talking yellow, red?
Yeah. No, I'd say like camo.
Hell yes.
Camo Camaro.
Fuck yes. Some real life camo.
Yeah. At $10,000, that'd be a good down payment. And then you're probably paying $250 a month plus like $600 in insurance.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
The truck nuts, I think, will only be around $15 to $20.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. I would drive as far north as possible to find this Camaro. I think you're going to want to go wherever you live, even if I'm not talking just necessarily if you're in the Bay Area. Wherever you live, just go north.
Go
as north as possible.
Absolutely. Maybe till you hit the border.
Take a bus, take a Greyhound, and stop at every dealership you find.
Okay, stop at every dealership, stop at every KFC, Taco Bell collab.
Stop at Home Depots and then wait for people to come pick up day laborers and then offer to buy their cars.
Yeah.
When they're out there.
What do you have in your other garage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, I just have a lot of questions about your collection.
Yeah. Oh, you're building a garage? Oh.
What are you building a garage for? Possibly a 2008 camo Camaro?
Yeah. Now, does this come in any other colors?
Yeah. Does it take CDs, perhaps?
Does this have an 8-track player?
Yeah, I have a lot of Credence I need to play, okay?
Yeah, I think that, going north, and, negotiate, of course.
Negotiating is big.
And it helps if you have leverage in the negotiation. So, do a little homework on whoever you're buying from and kidnap a family member.
For sure.
And I think that'll really give you the leg up in the conversation,
Nothing like a little ransom to really lubricate, the gears of negotiation.
I'm not trying to do this in bad faith. I'm going to pay for the car. Okay.
For sure.
I just want a fair price and I want a guarantee.
Yeah. I'm just saying that insurance is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can both agree on that.
If you can knock, I don't know, $500 off the wheels, I don't know. I don't have to knock the teeth out of Meemaw's head. Okay.
Well, any more teeth? Okay.
Yeah. The bottom ones are still real. Better watch out. That's a good tip. A little bit of ransom, negotiate, look around.
Yeah.
Get the camo Camaro of your dreams.
Believe in yourself.
Well, we got the next one. My husband will only eat cheese pizza and potatoes. I'm not lying. My husband has always been a picky eater, but it's now gotten to the point where he can only eat cheese pizza or potatoes. It can be any type of potatoes as long as it doesn't have anything extra added. Anything I cook, he'll wince at and eat what he wants anyway. This really rubs off on our son. He refuses to eat any sorts of vegetables and consistently uses my husband as an excuse. My son does not eat his food. He does eat his food by the end of it, but it is causing a huge rift between my husband and I. I'm not sure what to do.
Well, up until you mentioned you had a son, I assumed that you married a 9-year-old. So that that's a little concerning.
Right.
The real question is, did you know this when you married the guy?
Before, well,
Was that what you guys had at your wedding? Was like fucking French fries and cheese pizza? Did you have your wedding at Chuck E. Cheese?
It seems so. He was a picky eater, but now I think he's evolved.
I think it's gotten worse.
Yeah, he's developed.
Maybe he has like dementia. He's got cheese pizza dementia, and it's probably not helping all the starch.
No, for sure. That can't be. He needs some Metamucil. That can't be good for the gut.
Oh my God. I mean, he needs, by anything extra, do you mean, can you not add Metamucil to his French fries?
Yeah. I mean, that has to be an absolute mess.
Oh man, he's got to be blocked up. I mean, there are a lot of options with potatoes,
There are. You got tater tots, grits.
It's the most versatile food.
Hash browns, chips.
Pizza, less versatile. I think he needs to see a therapist.
Probably. Something's probably off.
I think he's not telling you something. And I don't mean like he's cheating on you. I think he's not telling you that he has a problem in his childhood. I think he was molested at a Chuck E. Cheese.
He has some repressed trauma for sure.
There's something going on there. He needs help because there's no way. I mean, he's not going to be your husband for too much longer if that's the problem.
No, he's going to get blocked up.
He's going to fucking die from constipation pretty soon.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to worry about that too much longer.
There's a lot. They're on YouTube. They used to be, I think, on like in British TV or whatever, some no-name channel. And it was about freaky eaters. And it's people just like this who like only ate French fries or only ate pizza every day. And they bring these two like therapists in quotation marks, and pretty much they just scare tactic them.
You can't give somebody like good advice on like an hour-long program. You you can't show like the months of therapy that this really needs.
No,
you can only show them like, you fucking idiot, and then they like apologize and like, I only did this. And they're like, everyone has like a come together at the end with some great editing. They would always
bring in, they would like, if the guy only ate French fries, they would get an entire like store, like U-Haul truck full of French fries.
And just smother it, just dump it on them.
just dump it. And they're like, this is how many French fries you eat every year.
He's like, I love it. And he's like, dump it on me. I'm going to eat my way up.
Yeah. I want to Scrooge McDuck these freaking crinkle cuts right now. Okay.
No, it's a great argument against libertarianism, because it's like, everyone gets to make their own choices, and a significant number of people will choose to eat like this, and then we'll have to pay for their health care.
Yeah, you have to deal with that.
I'd be a libertarian if we could guarantee that I never had to pay for anybody else's healthcare.
Yeah, if people made better decisions.
If the emergency room didn't have to admit everybody, then I could see being a libertarian.
I've been saying it for years. Start turning people away.
I think it's okay, honestly.
What is this person eating 10 gallons of pudding every week?
Yeah.
Come on. They don't need to get a cast on their arm, okay? Yeah. Let it be broken. It'll heal on its own.
Yeah, slap some pudding on it if you love it so much.
Okay. You could freeze it. You could freeze a pudding cast. Okay. Be creative. Be intuitive.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
Not that hard. Figure it out, dude. So we have one more person who needs advice, Marty Cunnie.
Great.
And it's me. If you could give Mikel Nordstrom any advice in life, in comedy, whatever, what advice would you give me, Mikel Nordstrom?
First off, this is an aside. This isn't the full thing, but never change your fashion. It's working for you. Stick with it. It'll take you far.
Stick with the Wrangler.
Yeah, stick with the ring. Good advice that I've gotten recently that I like to pass along to people is I've taken up meditation recently.
Okay.
And as a person who struggled with depression, anxiety, stuff like that, a good little mantra that I got from the course I'm taking is that you are not your next thought.
Okay.
You aren't, what's going on in your brain doesn't define who you are. Your thoughts are happening to you.
Okay.
And if you recognize that, you can recognize that, you have a lot more control over that than you think. Right. And so when you're struggling and when you're down and when you aren't sure about what you're feeling about something, just remember that an easier way to look at things objectively is just to remember that you are not your next thought. And I found that to be very helpful as a buddy.
Well, that's fucking awesome, dude. How long have you been meditating for?
Since January, coincidentally, since my breakup. So
goddamn. And
part of the reason I took it up is that, I'm trying to be better about being more comfortable on my own.
For sure.
And I think meditation is just like, something I could do, because typically when I'm by myself and when I'm doing things, on my own, I'm often just kind of trying to be, it's almost like I'm distracting myself until I'm like doing something sociable again.
Yeah.
So meditation was kind of a way for me to like, when I'm on my own, to like take some time to, kind of clear my head and be comfortable with myself, and then really kind of like look a little more objectively like what I'm doing and seeing if it's worth my time.
That's huge. That's huge. Kind of being able to be comfortable by yourself and with yourself.
Yeah.
And how are you being most effective with you and in your life?
Yeah. And, I was always one of the people that I always say, like, I'm really uncomfortable being around my own thoughts, and I wouldn't say I'm completely out of the woods on that yet, but
For sure.
Meditation stuff helped a lot. And, it helps me be present in other moments. And
for sure. What were
fantastic.
Your thoughts on meditation before you started?
I thought that it was one of those things that I didn't actually, I was like, I don't really need this,
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine. I'm mentally stable. And it turns out I'm not, I'm not outwardly mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
I started going to therapy last year during the pandemic and started, I don't think I'm like really off my rocker or anything, but like, clearly I had some more issues than I was letting on. And, so this is one of those things is like trying to get more in touch with how I'm feeling and like realizing that like meditation would be a good idea. Like, cause I actually dated a girl that was like, I wouldn't say she was really into it, but she was a teacher, and a lot of schools in San Francisco had like a meditation program, because it's like, well, a lot of these kids don't really get an opportunity to like let go and focus on themselves all day. They're so busy, their lives are so chaotic and crazy that like just giving them 10 minutes to like think to themselves is like, so, a big
extremely
benefit.
Helpful. Absolutely.
And, she's like, so she would meditate, and I'd be like, yeah, good for you. I don't need to do this. I'll go watch TV. And, now I'm like, I don't know if I'm wishing I would have done it with her or something like that. But
Yeah.
I can think that, it's one of those things where my life at that point, I wasn't at the point in my life where I would think that was a good idea. And so if I was doing it, I probably wouldn't be getting much out of it. Right.
For sure. I think with that kind of stuff, you need to be kind of all in. You gotta be,
you gotta believe. I wouldn't say believe, but like you gotta like trust in a process a little.
Yeah. I remember in high school, our English teacher would like make us do it every day.
Oh, really?
And yeah, but I didn't take it seriously. I'm like, this is kind of bullshit. And so I didn't really put any kind of effort into it, and I didn't get anything out of it.
Well, I think it's one of those things too, where like you got to find a course that works for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like yoga, how like so many fucking Midwest dumbasses got into yoga when Diamond Dallas Page started doing like a yoga program.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I like wrestling and I could get in shape. You know?
Oh yeah, brother, the downward
exactly.
dog.
Like, yeah. I mean, and so like, you know, but you know, whatever. It worked for a lot of people. It got a lot of people fitter, you know.
I'm gonna squeeze myself into a cobra.
Well, it's super funny about that too, because like he like renames all the yoga poses, not necessarily into like wrestling things, but just into like less pussy sounding things.
Yeah.
You know, like I forget, he changed a bunch of the names to like of like, you know, Shavasana and stuff like that. He calls it like dead something or something, like, you know, he just like it's super funny, and it's like he does a great job of marketing it. But at the end of the day, it's like he's just getting all these people that never would have done yoga to do yoga because, you know,
okay, everybody, it's the grave digger pose.
Yeah, exactly. It's like shit like that.
Yeah.
And so he should make a meditation course. I think.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
We would have a brand new country.
If every WWE fan got into yoga and meditation,
it's like, fucking sit down, like, you know, breathe.
Global warming.
Listen to the sound
of past.
Listen to the sound of chair shots being repeatedly taken out on the Undertaker. When you hear that noise, come back to yourself, you know.
Live for the buzzer.
Yeah.
Live for the cage or die in the cage.
Yeah. You're in a cage of emotions.
Let it out.
You're gonna get thrown off that cage like Mick Foley, the Undertaker, in Hell in a Cell.
Okay, you're stuck and you got your emotions. There's Macho Man coming at you, and you got to block, you got to avoid, you got to dance around, you got to pin him.
It would help a lot of people.
No, absolutely, dude.
But yeah, like I found a good instructor, and that's kind of what made a difference for me. Because there's definitely some like woo-woo hippie bullshit when you can, like, you know,
for sure.
And I think this guy's a little more scientific and philosophical about it.
Hell yeah.
Which works for me.
I think that not only for meditation, but I think that's for everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything might not be for you, but there's so many different versions of stuff that like you can find, like reading. You might not be into reading, but I bet there's a book out there that you'll like. Maybe you like audiobooks.
Yeah. Well, if you can't read, then you probably like audiobooks.
Big for the not reading community.
Big for the non-readers.
Well, dude, Marty, thanks so much for fucking coming on.
Yeah.
You have shows? Do you have what do you want to plug?
Well, I'm going to be, so two things. I got F-Bomb Comedy on Instagram. I'm putting on a lot of shows in San Francisco, Oakland. Got one coming up in June at the United Irish Cultural Center. We're calling it Crack Den Comedy.
Hell yes.
But I'm also soon, don't have a date yet, but I'll be putting on a show at Final Edition in Santa Rosa. If you've got any local fans, we'll have a Sunday show at Final Edition. The man Cody Smith is going to be helping me out with that one. So,
hell yeah.
We'll be when I have a date for that, I will be putting that up on my Instagram, and hoping to call it a Rough Draft Comedy because that feels right. But yeah, but follow us F-Bomb Comedy on Instagram, Facebook for upcoming events and dates. We do a lot of weed shows in the Bay Area now too, so
hell yeah.
Trying to get into that as well.
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah. Thanks for coming on, guys. This is the Hell Yeah Podcast. Go check out all the social media. Hell Yeah Podcast. Links will be below. Follow me. Call our phone line. Okay. You want to get advice? Call us. We got a phone line at 415-785-4509. Give us a call. We'll give you advice. Thank you for listening. Marty, thanks for coming on. This is the Hell Yeah Pod.
What? Hell yeah, what? Hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? What? Can I get a hell yeah? What? Hell yeah, what? Hell yeah. And I know it ain't right, and I know you shouldn't take this advice, but make sure you really drunk when you driving. Walk on some glass with no shoes on and don't pay for your meal. Dine and dash. You better not ask me for no advice, because I'm gonna tell you the wrong thing to do. So can I get a hell yeah? What?